Hey guys, last time we had an opportunity to take this very same 2019 Ford Ranger on an MPG run. It was from Los Angeles to Colorado.
A lot of you guys have asked us what kind of fuel does the Ranger require. It's 87 octane, so basically base fuel here in California, which is actually mid-grade in Colorado, but that's a whole nother story. We can make it a long ways because we have 18 gallons of fuel tank.
Just starting to get some snow heading through Vail.
Yep, we're in the Rocky Mountains now, heading home. This is a proper snow test now.
Indeed it is.
The final thing you might be wondering about at this point is what number did the boys get? And that number would be 19.5 MPG. Now that is substantially less than the EPA's 24 on the highway.
Now we're going to put it on our proper MPG loop.
We want to get to the bottom of this and see exactly what this truck gets on the highway in the real world, because there has been some controversy surrounding its highway rating.
And that's coming up next.
Oh yeah, capless system.
Yep.
What octane are we using?
87 octane, which is what the manufacturer requests we use. So even though we do have 85 at high elevation, we're using 87.
Well, that's how they rate the power on the engine, and that's what they recommend. So
Yep.
we always do what the manufacturer recommends and requires.
It was nearly full when I started driving it. This is what we do each and every time. It lets the gas settle.
30 seconds, right?
Yep, and we got another 5 seconds. There we go. There it is.
Well, let's reset the trip meter and let's get on the road, dude. Once again, we're doing this the exact same way we've done for every other truck we've tested.
That is correct.
This is 70 miles an hour with cruise control.
Yeah, now currently temperature, I believe, what is that outside? 47 degrees.
Okay, not much wind.
Nope.
There can be wind in the plains, in Colorado
Yeah,
plains.
so it could pick up in wind as we drive, but at least here there hasn't been any wind, actually. What you're looking at here is a 2.3 liter EcoBoost turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that puts out 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. It's hooked up to a 10-speed automatic transmission, which comes standard with the vehicle. This one is a 4-wheel drive. Now what that means is the EPA rates this vehicle's MPG on the highway at 24.
Well, let's see if we can match it.
Hell yeah.
There's some confusion out there as to whether this is a European truck that Ford is now selling in the United States. And Ford's been very clear about this, and I can see this. This truck is designed for United States. Yes, it's using the same chassis,
Yeah.
but the frame has been updated.
It has been updated. It's been changed. There are
Yes.
components that are new. The styling is slightly different, but the main thing that's major different on this vehicle,
Yes.
powertrain.
Absolutely. It's a unique 4-cylinder that's only available here in the United States and North America.
That is correct.
It's not available in Europe. They get their own 2-liter diesel and bi-turbo diesels
And all that
and
cool
other
stuff.
diesels.
Yeah. Now, last time with this very same truck, we drove it from Los Angeles all the way up to where we are right now, Colorado. While we did that, we drove it all over the highway. We drove it through snow. We drove it in Moab. We drove it through Las Vegas. And we did an MPG run. And here were the results.
20.8.
And the vehicle said 21.
0.4, so very close.
Pretty close.
21-ish.
21, I think, is a fair statement.
Real world from sea level up to St. George. 280.2 divided by 15.925 equals 17.6. 17.6 for this leg. Going through Utah at 80, so we'll see how it does on the way to Denver. 275.4 divided by 13.716 equals 20.1. 20.1 last leg of it in the snow. There we go.
the MPG numbers were nowhere close to what the EPA rated it at. So we're going to do it again, and we're going to collect some new data and see what we can get.
There's no manual transmission offered.
Which is a shame, but maybe they'll change their mind one day. And Ford had to do a really unusual tap dance with this vehicle. And I don't agree with all of their thinking. The main thing here is they didn't want to eat into their F-150 or the F-Series sales. It's a huge thing for them to have the best-selling trucks.
Yes.
And that's what they've had year in and year out for years and years and years. So by having this vehicle, there was a concern that they would eat into those sales. The other part of that is they also wanted to make sure that this was a really competitive vehicle in the segment, and it did something unique that gave someone a unique vehicle right out of the box.
Yeah, and they went, so when they brought it here, they went for a couple of points. Fuel efficiency was one big one.
Yes.
26 MPG for a two-wheel drive midsize truck is the best gas MPG.
Yep.
Well, this is why we're here. We want to verify those claims. Ford released a press statement talking about some of their internal calculations, the way they estimate the fuel economy on their vehicles.
Yep.
And they've hired independent companies
To verify
that. And Roman kind of broke down those details in a separate video that we can link up above.
Yep.
So you can check it out. And Ford wants to make sure, they're doing it right. So they're doing all these investigations right now.
They want maximum transparency.
Here's how manufacturers actually rate their trucks in collaboration with a government agency like the EPA. In this case, Ford provides data to the EPA. EPA reviews it. They can request more data, or they can test the truck themselves, and then they come up what's on the sticker when you see it when you buy the truck. So when you walk into the dealership and you see that number on the sticker, you can expect approximately those numbers. When you see that four-wheel drive Ranger rating of 24 on the highway, that means any model. It applies to any model. In this case, we have an FX4, which is an off-road version of the truck.
Now, there are a lot of things we liked about this truck that we said in the video before. I still think it has one of the best rides in the class.
Comfortable seats.
Very comfortable seats, very quiet interior. I hear only a little bit of wind noise.
Well, talking about noise, let's test it. .8. So anything under 70 decibels is really good in the highway. We're talking to you at 86 decibels right now. So that's impressive.
That is, as I said before, well, Ford was the pioneer for quiet tuning, so to speak, making interiors in their trucks extremely quiet. Their cars are already very quiet, but their trucks have proven to be extremely quiet. Their diesels included.
Yeah. Dude, we're halfway through the loop. We need to turn around and get back.
Yeah, we're getting up to the highway right now.
What does the trip meter says?
It says 25.9 MPG.
Wow, that's quite a bit different, very different to what we saw on our road trip.
It is, however, we are heading slightly downhill.
It's gonna get a little bit worse, and we don't know exactly how the trip meter relates to what we see at the pump.
But not all is perfect. We are talking about an interior that does have some components on it that are extremely hard and plasticky. Other competitors do have softer touch materials in places where we would like to see them. But I recently remembered one thing I loved about this truck. The new sync system.
Yeah, it actually works. It has Waze, it has Google Maps.
It works great.
Integration, all that stuff.
That
Apple
is correct.
CarPlay,
Yep.
Android Auto.
It simply does what it's supposed to do. It's not too flashy. It's easy to use. Its interface is fairly easy even for an ape like me. Yeah, I'm happy about that.
When people hear that the Ranger is offered with a 4-cylinder turbo, I've heard it several times. They ask, is a V6 available? Because people are used to this stuff, right? V8 engines in bigger trucks, V6 engines and mid-size trucks, right?
Right. Bottom line is that the output on this engine is more than comparable to the V6s out there. But there are people out there who feel that a V6 without the turbos and everything else on it might be more reliable.
Well, yeah, we won't know that until several years in the future once we have some more data about these trucks. Yeah, let's see how close we get to the trip meter. But the trip meter is very impressive. Currently it's showing over what the EPA says. and I want to go to pump number 4, which is the exact same pump that we've used when we first filled up, and we can't.
You got it, man.
Booyah! That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
We want to keep all the variables, or limit, control all the variables. Same pump, same day.
25.8 last week.
25. Let me take another picture of that before you close down. Okay.
You already hit 87?
30 seconds.
Yep, type it right now.
Boom.
All right.
98 miles, divide by 4.587 equals, whoa! So there's quite a few things, right? So 2 surprises today. The discrepancy between what we saw at the pump
Yep.
and what the trip meter said.
Yeah, it is a pretty big difference.
That was big. That was almost, what, 4 MPG difference?
Yeah, it's pretty significant.
I haven't seen that before, really.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that.
And then we still didn't meet the 24 MPG that the EPA says.
No, although we got pretty decent gas mileage,
Yes.
it still wasn't what they were advertising.
Still, it's better than what we saw during our trip.
Yeah,
By
that's
quite
true.
a big margin.
Yes, it is.
That was 19.5. This is 21.4.
All right, well, there you go. I think we have a result.
Yes. And go back to tfltruck.com for my news, views, and
Real world reviews.
this is real.
This is real.
Yes. As you can tell by all the yelling
Noise
and
and-
all the other trucks.